So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we're already halfway through the first day of the Digital Summit. Time flies. But here's another interesting story for you. Now, you probably read the title somewhere in the agenda, and you might be asking yourself, what in the world are UNDP Accelerator Labs? Well, to tell you, first of all, we're not building the new Hadron Collider, okay? So not accelerating particles, I promise. I also promise we will not be experimenting with poor little mice, so no. What we want to do is actually create the world's largest and fastest learning network. But not learning in the sense of let's take a book and learn something, but actually learning about how to, what are the best solutions for the ever-emerging challenges, the global 21st century development challenges. So, let's see, this might work, yeah. We have just seen Sophia the robot. So AI, artificial intelligence, employment, this is quite a challenge, and it's really going very fast. Migration due to climate change, fake news, democracy. I mean, the utter speed of change is so much faster just in our generation here, let alone if we compare it with previous eras. Development solutions are lagging behind. You can see this impact gap on the presentation. So the current approaches, the business as usual of, okay, let's find something that works, the best case, best practice, and contextualize it hopefully in our own situation, might not really be the best solution. So we need really new development models, new protocols, new methodologies to try to make a better world for all of us, because the world is really changing fast. So accelerator labs are meant to be created in, in almost half of country offices the UNDP has globally. So that's the sheer size of it. Something like that hasn't been created so far. So we will seek ways to address the social, environmental, governance challenges of the world today by working as a globally integrated network, very much integrated, much more than we have been integrated so far, and much more than most development partners are. We will try to draw inspiration from local solutions. That's a bit of a difference. I'll tell you a bit more about it in a minute. And we will try to test multiple solutions in parallel, not to lose time. Why UNDP? Well, we have innovation in our strategic plan. It's like a big thing in the global strategic plan of UNDP. We are really present throughout the world. On the ground, we have this trusted relationship with governments. This is just an example of relevance. We strengthen 1 in 3 parliaments worldwide, and so we support elections every 2 weeks, and so on. We are, okay, a bit to brag, we're also first in value for money indexes. We're number 2 in transparency. We were number 1 for 2 years, but I guess it was too much to be number 1 for 3rd year. But we'll invent something new soon, I'm sure, to open up even more. So this is a good platform for bringing about change when it comes to addressing development issues. How will the accelerator labs work? Well, first of all, we will make this network. We will build on each other's learning, and through that, avoid the relearning of individual little units in offices. This will also take us a step further in terms of accelerating the learning. It will not take any more years. Hopefully it will take months or even weeks. We will try to really identify those grassroots solutions and be that integrator between some innovator who invented something for him or herself and policy. Because the innovator might not be really interested in upscaling a solution. He or she did it for him or herself, right? But then this could benefit a larger community. And this is where our role comes in, to bring it up to the decision makers, where we establish trusted partnerships, make it a policy. I mean, just to give you some examples, in some parts of the world, like Bangladesh, there are a lot of floods. And there was a farmer who invented floating farms. So he invented it for himself, right? And he was well off. His family didn't suffer due to the floods anymore. But does he really have an interest to upscale it? Why should he? I mean, he's well off. Well, the idea is then to pick up this great solution on the local level and upscale it for a larger community. And let's have prosperity in that sense. The solution is localized. No need to bring some examples from, I don't know, Western world and then try to contextualize. It's there, it's in the given environment, it works. So it will work for the next neighbor as well, very easily. So this is the bridging to scale idea, where we will find these good examples and try to upscale them. All right, so today, most of us working in the development sphere, we're inventing these fantastic pilots, hoping that they will work. We pilot them for a year or two, if they happen to work, or we write a report explaining how well they worked. Hopefully we will get resources to upscale in some 6-7 years. There might be a solution on the ground all over the place. Well, we want now, the development of tomorrow will be faster learning through multiple experiments at the same time. So we will not pursue the unicorn, the one solution at a time approach. We will establish a portfolio of experiments and run them in parallel in a risk-reduced environment of UNDP in partnership with the government, smaller scale. And let's see what works. And then we pick it up and turn to policy. So again, these best practices, north-south approach, it's a bit of history, slowly. There are really good local solutions in the context, and we want to really find them. The networking, it is, I mean, I love the term collective intelligence, but that's really what we want. We want to pitch in among all peers of this great network and not have to relearn again and again the same things. We'll also look at unusual data sources. Today, for example, in Moldova, UNDP has developed a project where it gives information to the government on population movements based on lights, people turning on lights in their villages. So it's not the perfect digit. We don't know exactly to the single human being as opposed to a census, a population census. But it's enough to give some broad, the decision makers some broad idea of where to go with some policies. I mean, it's a very simple thing. And this is the unusual data source that we will be looking to tap into, satellite imagery. I mean, the European Space Association has these fantastic satellite images that can tell you where wood was cut, or if you need to put more fertilizer in your soil. So these are the new sort of sources of data that we'll be looking into. We will be looking at big data, qualitative data more and more to find new patterns and new opportunities. This is roughly where the labs are being established as we speak. I have to brag a bit. We, in Serbia, were a bit more efficient, so we're the first ones that are interviewing for really supersonic people in our lab. We will have head of exploration, head of experimentation, and head of solutions mapping. It's not your usual terms of references, right, in the development sphere. So among all these countries, we're actually the first, and hope to really make a big change in development as we know it today. So, in brief, while we are searching for good people, but I guess if you haven't applied, you're a bit late. But on the other hand, we're searching for really good partners. So we will not be doing this alone. We will be tapping into the knowledge, the great innovators in the country, and we want to work in partnership. So we want to co-create our development approach, and we want to co-create a better future for tomorrow. Thank you.